Hello, Sophie Ash here, the founder of Prospology, and I'm here to talk to you about 5 ways to prevent sales from feeling salesy. Now, we all have this fear when we start any business of having to sell and of what will people think of us when we start selling something. Everyone has this idea of like multi-level marketing schemes or dodgy car salesmen or, people who are just really sleazy and all they care about is making money. And we all worry that everyone's going to associate us with being like that. And I wanted to present some ways that you can avoid that feeling. Because if you feel like that about yourself, or other people are feeling like that about you when they're actually interacting with you, because it's one thing for them to be judging you without actually knowing what they're talking about. They haven't been involved in the sales process in any way, or they're not your ideal client. But it's another thing for people who actually are involved in the sales process and are your ideal client to feel like you're being salesy. So here are 5 things that I suggest you consider in your sales efforts. 1 is to personalize every conversation that you have to try to suit each person's individual needs. We can all tell when someone's following a script, when somebody is overly prepared, when they're not actually listening to what we're saying because they're sticking to their notes or what they know, and they're not listening. They're not listening, they don't care. And so there has to be a back and forth. There has to be a 2-way street, because if you really want to help them, if you really want to offer them a solution to something that they are facing, you have to have a conversation with them, and it has to be personalized. So that's number 1. Number 2 is to make detailed notes so that you can easily revisit and continue a sales conversation. Sales is not usually a very quick yes or no. Often, to get to a yes, you have to have several interactions with the person, or even different people, depending on who the decision makers are and if it needs to be escalated, or if there's a period of negotiation. And so I always record any sales related conversations that I have so that I can use that to help me refine a proposal or put together something in writing that says I can help, but also so that I can just pick things up at a later date and continue the conversation so that I can get to a yes. The 3rd thing that I wanted to share is to know when something isn't a good fit and to let the person know. Not everybody should be buying from you. I repeat, not everyone should be buying from you. There is a big difference between somebody who really needs a service that you are offering to them and you're just trying to figure out the details of how that may go down, versus somebody who actually doesn't need what you're offering and shouldn't be sold that thing. Now, there is a gray area where they may not realize that they need it, but you know that they need it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when it's actually not a good fit. You have to be honest with yourself about that, and you have to be honest with them. Number 4 is to humanize your approach so that you're connecting with the emotions of the person that you're talking to. So again, kind of similar to number 1, you don't want to be following a script. You want to just be a person. You want to let them express how they're actually feeling, what they actually need, and just be a human, be empathetic, be understanding. And if you naturally are an empathetic person, that's a huge asset for sales. If you're not, I think it's important to learn to be more empathetic, to learn to care more about people's feelings and what people are going through, and genuinely try to meet them where they're at. And number 5 is to give people time to make their decision without pushing them to decide now. I've heard so many people say how much they appreciated that I didn't force them to buy our coaching program. I didn't make them make a decision on the spot if they didn't feel comfortable with that. Everybody has their own process. Everybody has their own system, their own way that feels good to them. If I don't want to feel salesy, then I let people take their time. I let them have a couple of days to think things through and decide what they want. if somebody's not super excited about jumping into our program because they know it's going to change their life, and they found exactly what it was that they needed and that no one else can give that to them, then to be honest, I don't want to enroll them anyway, because it's just going to be an uphill struggle on both ends. So yeah, these are some of the things that I've learned through many years of sales training that I've had and all of the sales that I've done personally. And these things have really helped my business grow a lot, and it's actually made sales really enjoyable for me and something that I look forward to doing. So curious to know which of these 5 things you think will benefit you the most, if you've already been trying some of them or if you are going to try some now. And if you do need any additional support with your sales, obviously we all need that to generate revenue in our business and make our lifestyles sustainable, then you can visit www.prospology.com and we can talk about how to help you get your freelance medical writing business off the ground.